Okay, everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're looking behind me, you look at what it looks like it's together. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. This is quite a project. So this right here is what we're going to be putting together today on the channel. Let's go ahead and do a walk around. I'll show you the car, what it looks like, and the parts we have to go on it. So right away, right here, here's the taillight panel. So as you walk in, drilling all the firewall out. I have the trunk sitting on these boxes so I could easily just pick it up and check the quarters. Here's some more stuff. Widened wheel tubs, of course the intersection. We have fenders, of course some more parts, some section out there for the filler between the glass. Of course here we all have our inner structure. All this just sitting in place. The quarters just sitting in place. All that crap's got to come off, and we're basically going to be working with the rockers. I did, of course, look at the other Camaro, make a bunch of measurements, so we're going to get the rockers where they need to be. And once the rockers are in place, here we have our instructions for our tubs. And here's all the parts. So we're going to get all these parts right here, put back into that car. So going to be a little fun job getting all this stuff together, because Camaros are touchy. So that's what we're working with. So there's the car parts, and there we have the car. So this is what we're going to be doing. Right now, first thing you're going to do is make sure your doors are lined up. All right, so if you've got your car blown apart to this portion, I'm going to tell you kind of what you need to do. Now, I'm no expert by no means, but I've done this enough to know how I think it should be done. Build your car off your doors. Now, the rockers on this car are just sitting in place. They're screwed in with sheet metal screws. None of this is on except for the doors. So if you have it blown apart to this level here, make sure your doors are on and lined up correctly. Now, if it's like this, the top of your door, pretend your drip rail is not even on, and just line the top edge of your door up with that post, and that should line the top up. Now, as for the bottom, it's good to have fenders that you can sit on the car and bolt up, and you can line that door up at the top, lined up at the bottom, and then that right there should kind of give you your estimated where your door should be. Now, as for going up and down, that's a whole other thing. You can use your fender to line that up, get that door gap correct, and you can measure all along the top of the drip rail down to the door. Now on this, I mean, you really don't have but give or take about an inch from the door to the inner pillar. So once your doors are bolted on, then you can worry about getting your outer rockers, inner rockers, and all that stuff tacked into place. And then once that's in place, you've got your firewall, you've got your floor section, and then you can start working from the floor section back, getting that rear center section of the rear section of the floor and trunk pan section in. Once that section is put in, then you start working on your tubs. Now these are widened tubs, so there's going to be a lot of cutting. So therefore, when I get that rear section put in the car, I'm going to get the rear taillight panel, inner and outer, and filler neck panel put in. And once those panels are put in, I know this is probably boring everybody. Once those panels are put in, then you start working on getting your tubs lined up correctly, and then get your quarter panels put in. So let's go ahead and start.
Watch the smoke.
Okay, now we started the video out talking about go off your doors. I had to slot the top and bottom hinges in order for this door to slide forward and get it exactly where it needed to be. After that, we've tack welded the rockers in place. We've already got them all measured exactly where they need with a quarter gap. I've of course done some welds on the inside, just, why not? So everything's already cut out back here. This is just sitting in place, this pan. Everything's kind of just mocked up already and kind of tacked in, but on this side as well, the hinge on the top and the hinge on the bottom, both are new hinges, but you can see where I've had to slot them in order to get that door to slide forward enough. The piece right here, the drip rail is actually sitting too far down. It actually needed to come up just a hair so that it matched the length of the other side. So this side was actually longer and it had to be cut down some. The rocker is all welded in, for the most part tacked in. So now we've got to get the inner rocker on this side and the inner rocker on that side, and then we'll be able to put the firewall and the floor in. All right, now we're fast forwarding to the firewall. Now what I did is tighten these bolts here up on both sides, and I measured from the top here down to a straight edge on the bottom of the mount and got them both the exact same, exactly where it needed to be. And then I measured from here back to the door opening to get this part right here straight up and down where it needed to be. And as for the floor pan, I simply just placed the floor pan right over top of this edge on the lip for the front firewall, set it in place. Now we have our floor pan right here on the stand. Now what I'm going to do, I'm not worried about this crap. I'll cut this out once the pan's welded in for the wider tubs. But all along this back section here, you will have to have no holes in this section, but the section that goes on top of this will have to have holes. So I'm going to be drilling holes all along this outer edge here and all along this front edge for my welds. So once I got all my holes there, then I can sit this in place. And I've done some clamping back here on each side, and I've got a little rope holding up the center section so that it ain't bowed and it's straight, and simply just set it in there. So I will have to take it back out, drill all my holes on each side for my welds, and do some measuring from this right here where my bolt is for my back seat. Measure from there up, make sure this right here is square. All right, now we're right here. I got this panel just sitting in. I'm gonna go ahead and complete this assembly. I've already cut the section of the floor pan for the wider tubs. I'm gonna go ahead, drill this, weld this in, and weld the sides in as well, so that this piece is fully assembled. Now on the rear, I've already got the tubs in place. I've got them welded all along there, and on the inside, I've got to put some seam sealer around every bit of this crap and prime it and whatnot. But had an issue with getting them to sit straight. You can't look at that. You got to look at the front section. Had some issue with that, getting them to line up. Ended up just being the floor pan itself. So I had to cut a little bit more out of that to get them to line up exactly where they needed to be. Already got the floor pan itself welded in, got all that bracing out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this quarter panel, get it set off the car, and then the panel over here that I got to assemble, I can simply slide it right into place. If I need to make some more slight cuts on the back, I can do that, trim it out, slide it forward, and then put some screws up through the bottom there to hold the front in. And then once that's done, I can clamp it on the back and then just kind of get it lined up with putting the quarters back on, put the taillight panel back on, and once it lines up with that rear taillight panel, I can make some welds and then pull the quarters and stuff back off and then finish doing some more welds. But that's where I am right now. Is getting all this right here, get it all assembled so that it'll be complete. And I'm going to show you some issues that I've had with these AMD quarter panels. So let's go ahead and get with that right now. Okay, as you can see, all the inside is welded in. I'll go around the back. The fitment on this side was pretty decent. This side was decent as well, just a little bit of finesse to get it in. Now this quarter panel is stamped correct. This is flat all the way to the edge. Now this is the quarter panel I've had trouble with. This right here is actually stamped at an angle, so it's a little larger gap. That's not the issue. The issue is up here. I've had to cut slits down this side of this quarter here. I didn't do none of this. When I got these quarters, this right here was already cut off all along this. It did not have that edge, but I had to do that so that the roof line would fit. So now all this right here all the way over is exactly contoured exactly like it should be. So that's one issue I had with that. Now in here, these are the big monster tubs in here. I've cut slits in this, the overhang, and lapped them over and welded them all on the bottom. and I've welded it solid all the way down and around. So I'll put some seam sealer over that, and all of that will be cleaned up. And I've been welding all the top areas. Now I've already made sure this right here along to this to here is good. The trunk lid fits good. It's got a good gap. This quarter panel right here fits pretty decent. It was also cut along the top, so I had to just kind of butt weld it. And of course I've drilled all the holes and welded everything around this inner lip. And there you have it. So this is where I'm at right now. I still have the seat risers to put in. Still got to grind all the welds down. And that's about it. Other than this, I've got to weld this up. And once this is welded up, the trunk hinges and things like that, this car right here is going to be on a trailer and going to a new home. Little update again on these AMD quarter panels. Now, right here, you can tell it's really flat. Now this quarter panel should come out, then swoop in. So this is not stamped correctly, and this. Now this was already cut like that when I got the quarters. I've been fighting this thin roof line here, but I've had to make slits in it and pull this in just slightly in order to get that perfect contour that I've been looking for, to get this right here perfect so that you can easily skim that, get it right. So that's one thing. This right here was sticking out way too far, so that had to be brought in and slowly so that it didn't affect right here any, make a crease. So that right there, that's one thing you may have to do on those AMD quarters. As we go inside, I welded everything solid all the way around on both sides, so this right here is not going nowhere. So that's the update as to right now what I've got done. I got to finish getting all these welds done. I'm just fighting heat right now, making sure I keep it cool as I weld it so I can grind all this down. Okay, I've already got it all welded in now, all along the drip rail, all along this. Cleaned all that up, and I've just added some glass to it because I figured I'd go ahead and just put some glass on that inside after I primed it, just to help protect it a little bit, make the body man a little easier job. Everything's all grinded down in here. So next thing I'm gonna do is get all this intersection here welded in. I've already welded along the back piece there. Still got to drill some holes welding here before I can put this rain gutter in. Got to get this inner package tray put in. Package tray, get the hinges put in place, go ahead and get the trunk set into place so the hinges can be in the correct order before I even put this separation panel in. So that's what I'm getting started on right now. And here we are with the firewall. It's all smoothed in. I got some black primer on it. And now let's take a look at the car. I've got the seat drop pans on there, the seat pans, braces, everything welded in the back. Everything is seam sealed all through, seam sealed on the inside. Package trays in. Got this right here fixed. It just needs to be wiped with some glass now. Now on the trunk lid, I did get the gap a whole lot better. Goes this side. There's that gap right there. Go up here and look right here. You can see. So everything so far has come together really nicely. I've got the latch in. Got the springs in. Also a little brace that goes on each side for the rear bumper. But everything is seam sealed. Everything's welded. So there it is. The 69 Camaro project is nearing completion right now. Got the door over here. But this is all we've got left to do to it. Got to get the doors, of course, on there. And this thing's going to be going to another home. Hey, thanks for watching this. I didn't get too much videos of doing the progress on the car. It takes too long to video and do it, so I figured go ahead and do it. Get it on video after it's done, let y'all see it. But go ahead, subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you have any questions or anything on this build, go ahead and hit me up in the comment section. I'll be sure to get back with you. But till next time, that's it for this 69 Camaro.